Hey there, Janae with Palin Projects here, and in this week's video, I'm going to be making a St. Patrick's Day sign to put out on our front patio for St. Patrick's Day. Let's get into it. So what you'll need is a thing of Mod Podge, and that's to make sure that the paper goes down. Some nice colorful paper, which I have here from my scrapbooking bin. I just picked out a couple nice prints, some fun colors. I picked the spectrum of green colors for St. Patty's Day, some scissors, a pencil, a thing of tape. I picked a sponge brush so that the Mod Podge goes on smooth instead of lined. And then Justin always has like scrap wood out in the garage, so I just went out and grabbed a scrap piece of wood. So I already have some of the lettering cut out, but I wanted to walk you through how I cut out my lettering. So what I need is my C, because I'm gonna, on this sign, I'm going to have it spell out lucky. So to begin with, I take one of my fun prints, and you can see sometimes I had my fun print on the top and sometimes I had it on the bottom. You could just do one layer if you wanted. You don't have to do two, but I thought it would be kind of fun to have the prints with the color. So I'm just going to draw out a quick C. I'm just going to draw out a quick C. It doesn't really matter if you have good handwriting or not. I tend to go on the side of a little more crazier, because then you can see, you can't see the imperfections in my handwriting. So I just kind of tend to have a little fun with it and not be precise with my lettering. So after that, after you draw it out and you feel comfortable with what you've drawn out, you just cut out the letter. If you drew it on the face, then you want to make sure that you cut below or on the inside of your draw mark. For the U or the horseshoe, I actually drew it on the back. If you're drawing letters, just remember that you have to reverse the letters, else they won't come out correctly. Or you just draw it on the front and you make sure you're cutting on the inside of the pencil line. Now I try and keep going with with my cut being continuous, because then I don't get the marks. If you can see, you can kind of see on this one. So right there is where my my scissors stopped. So you can kind of see a little bit of a mark. You know, it's not a big deal. I think the Mod Podge will take care of that. But I always try and keep my scissors going just to alleviate that concern. Okay, so there's my C. You can see it's not perfect, and I think that's perfect. Ha ha ha. See, perfect is not perfect. So I have a couple different colors of green here. This will be in between the C and the K, so this is the, or not the C and the K. I'm drawing the C right now. The horseshoe and the K. So I don't want to use this color because it matches with the horseshoe. And I don't want to use this color because it matches with the K. You could, I mean, that's not a big deal. But I think I'm going to use this color. So I'm just going to cut out a little bit to make this a little more manageable. I'm going to take a piece of tape. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just found this to be the easiest way to cut an outline around these shapes. So I'm going to tape them down with a significant portion around. I'm going to tape the top of the C down too, I think. Just so, so right here you see this is a little close. So I'm going to make sure that I don't cut too far in because I want a decent amount of green, you know. I want to be able to see this green. So since, bless you Shelby, since I have it taped down, I'm just going to go through with my scissors now and kind of follow the edge of the C. Again, I like to try and keep with that continual scissor motion just so I don't have those marks. Obviously I wouldn't be able to get around the whole C or the whole lettering with one scissor cut, but you know, I do the best I can. That's all you can ask. And then you got to cut out the inside. If you don't want to cut out the inside, that's fine. This is completely up to you, whatever you feel like you want to do. That's what's fun about projects. And voila, there's my C. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and set out my piece of wood. Here's my wood. Again, scrap piece of wood from one of Justin's projects. I am going to make sure that my lettering fits. And same with the lettering, I'm just gonna kind of put this on here. I'm not gonna do it completely straight because again, it hides imperfections. You can see I got my K a little big for this piece of wood, but it'll still work. I'll tip it a little bit. And it kind of makes it fun and quirky. So as you can see, my letters will fit and we'll start Mod Podging now. So I'm gonna open up my Mod Podge. Maybe it's glued shut. I'm gonna take a scrap piece of paper. Since this one isn't very big, I'll just use that. You wanna make sure you shake up the Mod Podge before you use it. I already shook it, I pre-shook it when I brought it out here. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit. A little goes a long way with Mod Podge. Trust me, long way. Then I take my sponge brush and this wood is pretty dry, so maybe I'll just pour it straight on. That's what I get for choosing a piece of scrap wood from Justin's stash. And I just make sure that the Mod Podge is nice and spread out. I'm not gonna do the edges. I don't think that's necessary. I could have painted this piece of wood if I wanted to. I could have stained it. I could have distressed it like I did the Valentine's Day hearts. You know, you can really have fun with this. Okay. So my Mod Podge is on. Nice thick layer. Now I'm going to lay out my lettering again. You could also take the tape off of your lettering and do each individual layer. I'm gonna leave the tape on. I don't think it hurts anything. Just to leave it on. So go kind of crazy with the C. Maybe scoot it over just a little bit. Now that Mod Podge is like glue, so as soon as you stick something to it, it's gonna be stuck. Look at that. There. And then go kind of crazy with the Y here. There we go. You can even like bend it if you want. There. Okay. So my letters are down now. And then you just take Mod Podge and go over the top. And make sure that all of the lettering is down. Everything is nice and secure. Nice thick layers of Mod Podge. I just want to use up that Mod Podge that I put on that piece of paper. And then I'll spread a little bit more on the top by just dropping it in from the bottle. Now we can just come in here and just pour a little on top. So Mod Podge dries in a variety of ways. You can get a matte finish, you can get a glossy finish. I don't remember what this is. It is gloss. So it'll have kind of a shiny appearance when it's dry. But it'll be clear too, so you'll be able to see the cool designs on the paper along with the colors. Again, I'm just making sure that this is nice and thick, making sure all of that paper is down. You can come back in with another layer of Mod Podge if you want. After this dries. Just to kind of catch whatever is not down. Now, if I would have taken the tape off of the back of this, it would have been, like, I wouldn't get this coming up. So I'm just going to go in here like that. You know, everything would lay a little bit flatter. Maybe I wouldn't have to do as thick of a layer of Mod Podge. But that's okay. We'll just lay it all down. We'll go thick. Once I feel like I have all of the paper down, I'm just gonna gently bring up the rest of this Mod Podge, the extras that I have, just to make sure that everything is laying nice and flat. These corners are just giving me a little bit of a trouble. That's fine. You can put gloves on for this next part if you want. I'm just gonna go wash my hands really quickly afterwards, so I'm not gonna use gloves, but I'm just gonna make sure that all of these are down and nice and flat with my finger, because I do see some bubbles in here. So I'm just gonna go like that and press it down. Make sure all the bubbles are out. That brush just wasn't doing, and then I'll fold this corner over too, because I couldn't get that with the brush. Look at that. See, I'm just smoothing it out, making sure there aren't any bubbles so that everything lays nice and flat for me. The L was down pretty good. Okay, so after that, the case's still coming up a little bit. After that, I'll just run this across again, my paintbrush across again, and just make sure that everything is nice and smooth. You will be able to see the Mod Podge lines a little bit, and so I just want to make sure that everything is running in the same direction so it looks nice. Look at that. A little bit of a bubble on that K still. And the C, and the U. It would have been a lot easier if I would have just done one layer. And probably a little easier if I wouldn't have put the tape down. Because then I really would have been able to get underneath each letter with the Mod Podge. But lessons you learn, right? Going a little hard on that K. There we go. Okay. Smooth everything out again. Okay, and then this came up. There. See? I think everything looks pretty good. Okay, everything looks like it's down. So, we will come back once it's dry and I'll show you what it looks like. So you just saw me place that sign out on our front patio, and I think it looks great. I think it's the perfect decoration for the St. Patty's Day weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week. Bye!